Armando Baker here.
It's Luke May.
This is Tyler Hansbrough.
University of North Carolina.
Here's North Carolina.
I just want to shout out my boy JBear_YT.
JBear_YT.
It's Carolina family, baby.
Go Heels.
Go Heels.
What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing our Week 5 college basketball top 25. Pretty big week of college basketball. AP number 1 team got knocked off, as for a couple of other teams as well, including Gonzaga and Memphis lost like 3 straight now, so they're not in the rankings anymore. So crazy stuff going on with this college football season. So let's get right into it, starting with this top 25. And number 25, you guys knew I had to do it. North Carolina. North Carolina's at 25. Now, North Carolina, so far, they are 6-2 in the season, with losses to the number 1 team in the country, Purdue, or they're going to be number 1 in the country when the rankings come out at least, and a good Tennessee team that's only sitting at 1 loss might end up in the top 10 by the end of this week. So 2 losses to top 10 teams, and then a big win over a Michigan team who isn't great by any means, but I mean that's an NCAA tournament team. They should be getting better because they're not playing like they should be playing right now. But you guys know. So 25, I think, is fair for Carolina. I think they will sneak into the top 25 of the AP poll, probably, considering Memphis is going to fall out, and Michigan's going to fall out, and I don't know. They might get a spot. It'll be tough to see. Anyways, number 24, we have Ohio State. They beat number 1 Duke, who obviously, if you watched any Duke games this year, they're not the number 1 team in the country. You can just tell, but like, I mean, you gotta give them some credit. They did win the game at home, so shout out to them there. I'm happy they did it. You know how Duke fans are. Anyways, number 23, we have the Florida Gators. Man, Florida's a team that came out in the season. They were swinging. They were playing really, really good basketball. Lately, it hasn't been as dominant, and they did lose a game against Oklahoma. What was it, the other day? So they are moving down in the rankings a little bit, but not too much. They want to move out of the rankings, so they're here at 23. Number 22, we have the Wisconsin Badgers, another Big Ten team. Big Ten, I don't know. It seems like it might be the best conference. Maybe the SEC. SEC looks really good too, but Wisconsin and lost a lot of guys last year because they were an older team. But they came out and they still look like a team from last year. They look like they play experience. They don't play sloppy or stupid. They beat a good Houston team a couple weeks ago, and I think they'd be a pretty decent Marquette team led by Shaka Smart as well. Number 21, we have the Iowa State Hawkeyes. Excuse me, no, the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm sorry to offend all the Iowa fans out there. But yeah, the Cyclones have been good. They're 8-0 on the season. Out of the Big 12, I haven't played too much competition yet. Obviously, they did beat Memphis, but they've kind of fallen off. But yeah, gotta rank them 8-0. LSU is here at 20, and as for a lot of these teams go, they haven't played much great competition yet. But I mean, 8-0 is 8-0, so we got to give them some respect here and put them here at number 20 on the list. Let's see, number 19, we have USC. Man, USC, they're slowly building themselves a program over there in Los Angeles. USC is like the last couple of seasons, they've been consistently good. And I think they're like that again this year. That's going to be I think this team can be a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. They're really playing well. Really good basketball right now. Best team in the Pac-12 outside of Utah, in my opinion. Excuse me, not Utah, UCLA. Number 18, we have the Indiana Hoosiers. I mean, Tyrese Jackson Davis, or what's his name? Trace Jackson Davis, I should say, not Tyrese. But Trace Jackson Davis, I mean, he is a stud. He is playing really good. Best player in college basketball candidate right now. He's playing like it. And Indiana still with only the 1 loss and a very strong Big Ten. So I think they're here at 18 this week. Number 17, we have the Yukon Huskies, still with only their 1 loss. They've won 3 straight. They're now 8-1, playing good basketball, dominating the teams they should be dominating against for the most part, and got some good wins like over a pretty good Auburn team as well. Number 16, we have the Illinois Fighting Illini, also out of the Big Ten. Now they haven't like played up to my expectations per se so far this season, but I mean obviously they're still performing pretty well. Let's see here, 6-2 on the season is currently what they're sitting at. They look really good against Rutgers. I was really just incorrect about Rutgers. They've been pretty terrible. Number 15, we have Arizona. Another Pac-12 team that I don't think is as good as USC, if I'm being honest. But since they're 7-0 and they're riding a good wave right now, that Michigan win is seeming like it was overrated. Because they might end up being a top 10 team in the AP poll, which like, if you watch them, they're fairly clearly not. But they're a good team. They're a good team. I'm not going to hate on them too much. Number 14, we have Houston. Of course, with the horrendous looking logo. I don't know why. I can never find a good transparent Houston logo. Anyways, they got a big game against Alabama coming up after their big win. But, I mean, they're dominating, bro. They beat Bryant by like 60 or whatever. Like, I didn't come into the season expecting too much from Houston, but they've really outperformed like my expectations, man. It's been pretty crazy. Number 13, we have the Auburn Tigers, of course, led by former UNC Tar Heel Walker Kessler. They're currently at 1 loss on the season, being to that good Utah. Why do I keep saying Utah? That good Connecticut team you were talking about earlier, and also have a win against Syracuse. So, and they're playing really good out of the SEC as well. Number 12 is Arkansas. Man, I did not expect this from Arkansas either. I thought next year it could be a really good year for Arkansas. Wasn't expecting too much from them this year. And obviously they still haven't got to play pretty much any competition whatsoever so far. So it's still a lot to see as far as Arkansas goes. But right now they're playing some good basketball. Number 11, Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee is making the Carolina win look just like better and better for the Tar Heels case at least. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Tar Heels were horrendous in that game. But right now, Tennessee's looking like a good squad, man. I mean, Kenny Chandler's one of the best point guards in the country. They haven't necessarily been blowing anybody out, but they got a good win against Carolina. So, I mean, they're going to be up here near the top 10 in the rankings. Number 10 is Alabama. They didn't move up as much as they probably should have. Giving Gonzaga their second loss of the season, I mean, that's crazy in and of itself. But Alabama was just hot from 3. Wasn't too much Gonzaga could do about it. So now Alabama is here at 10 in the rankings. Number 9, we had the Villanova Wildcats. They're 6-2 still, with only the losses to UCLA and Gonzaga on the UCLA and Purdue on the season. Don't have that quality win yet. We're really still looking for that. I mean, they do have a good win against Tennessee, but I don't know. I don't know about this Villanova team, man. They're too small. I don't know. I just don't know how they're going to be for the rest of the season, just given their lack of size. Number 8, we have Gonzaga. Yeah, Gonzaga, I had to move them down. I mean, they're 2 losses already. They lost to good teams. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying either team they lost to was like bad, but Alabama, they just caught fire, and they played Duke close, but everyone else just keeps winning, and I had to reward them for it. So it's tough. Obviously, I think Gonzaga is a better than number 18 in the country, but who knows, man. Number 7, we have the Kentucky Wildcats. They only have the 1 loss to Duke too. They've looked good since then, so gotta move them up. Number 6, we have the Texas Longhorns. They're playing really good ever since their loss in, what was it, the opening week, or was it not the opening week? They lost to Gonzaga at some point, but they've looked good since then. They haven't played much competition since then as well. They'll play a decent Seton Hall team coming up, so we'll see. We'll find out more about them then. Number 5, we have Kansas. I still believe in this Kansas team, man. They did have that 1 loss to Dayton, which was just a tough one. I really think this team has some national championship type potential. They've looked good since their loss, but we'll see once they start getting it into Big 12 play. Number 4, we have Duke. Yes, they were at number 1, lost to Ohio State. So moving down here to number 4 is the Duke Blue Devils. Obviously, I mean, they're better than last year's team. I'll tell you that much. But I think this team could really use a guy like Matthew Hurt, honestly. It's unfortunate for them that he left. I think they could really use his stretch ability to kind of somewhat unclog the paint for guys like Mark Williams and Paolo Banchero at times. Number 3, we have UCLA, the Bruins out of the Pac-12. Carolina plays them in like a week or so, so that'll be interesting. So far, still with only the 1 loss on the season. Number 2, we have Baylor, still sitting at 8-0. Haven't played too much competition. Got a big game against Villanova coming up. They did beat Michigan State, which is a pretty good win. But man, respect to the national championships. The reigning national champs, Scott Drew's doing a fantastic job there. And number 1, of course, is the Purdue Boilermakers, the clear and obvious number 1 team right now in this week 5 of the rankings. There's just no competition, man. And I really, at this point, I'm really just glad that Carolina was able to hang with this team for as long as they did, man. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this rankings. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one.